Greetings, sports fans. ASMR Sports here, back with a video that I think is going to be really fun. Shout out to our friend Reaper Cards, who sort of reminded me that I wanted to do a video like this. Reaper, who's a regular on the live streams I've done in the past, and by the way, I'm looking to do some more of those. I might just kind of pop on at random times. It'll pretty much always be in the evening, which is pretty much the only time I think anybody would watch one of those. So keep an eye out for that. But anyways, Reaper commented in my video on the top 20 most valuable individual cards that I did, that I should do a similar video with 20 most valuable wax boxes. So here I am with that video. I had actually been kind of wanting to do that for a while, but didn't really think all that hard about it, and then that comment reminded me, oh yeah, I should really do that. So everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're a new viewer, I've been kind of putting these introductory comments out there because you may be wondering why I'm whispering. It's because this is an ASMR channel, which is intended to relax people. If whispering bothers you, I apologize. This channel's probably going to suck for you. The other thing I do very frequently on pretty much every video is chew some gum, which a lot of people think is gross. But it really is sort of it's a very, I don't know, it's a sensual kind of sound that triggers relaxation in people. That's the ASMR phenomenon. You can go look that up on Wikipedia. Anyways, let's get down to business because we got a lot of business, folks. I'm doing the 20 most valuable unopened boxes of sports cards, and I actually have 4 that were not in the top 20 that we will call honorable mentions, and I want to do those real quickly. Actually, I'm not going to do anything quickly. I'm going to take my time. Maybe this is going to be a 2-hour video. I don't know. Sit back, relax, and let's do some sports cards. Here we go. 2013 Topps Update Baseball. I at once upon a time, I ordered 2 boxes of this stuff from eBay. Opened one box, got a gold Nolan Arenado rookie card. He's the biggest card in here. The other card that's big in here is Christian Yelich rookie card, and I believe there's 1 or 2 other decent. I feel like one of the big pitchers is in here. But I'm not remembering offhand. But anyways, Arenado and Yelich are the big scores in here, and I pulled a gold Arenado. It looked really good. Condition-wise, I sent it in a bulk order. Got a PSA 10 on it, so that's a pretty sweet card. I sold that for probably $400 not too long ago. And honestly, it's I don't know what it's worth now, but I feel like it has to have gone down just because like people stop paying attention to Nolan Arenado for some reason, even though he's like a total badass of a player. Anyways, this box, I don't know what this is worth. I think it's like maybe $400. Really fun rip though. Another fun one that's kind of just under the cutoff here to get in the top 20 is 2019 Bowman Draft Sapphire Edition. This is a fun little set that you could have bought back in 2019 from Topps directly. They sold out very quickly, and I didn't buy any from Topps directly, but right after these came out, I think they sold for like, I don't know, $60 a box. But on eBay, there were mountains of these things for $100 a box, and your boy ASMR Sports went and bought up as many as he could find for right around $100 a box. I think I'm remembering that right. I might be totally making that up, but I'm pretty sure that's what I did. I ended up with like about 20 of these things because I knew that, 2018 Topps Chrome Sapphire was a super hot product, and this was like one of the few Sapphire products that existed at that time. And I was big into pretty much anything Bowman in 2018, so I was like, I'm gonna buy a ton of these, and I bet they'll be worth $200 before you know it. Well, these days these sell for about $500 on both eBay and through like Dave and Adams and Blowout. So, big card in here is Adley Rutschman. He's like probably top 3 prospect right now, and he was the #1 draft pick in this class. So he's got cards in here, first Bowman cards in here, and there's 2 parallels, so colored parallels per box, which is actually pretty good. I mean, what other kind of product do you get 2 colored parallels guaranteed? All right, next up, this is a fun one. I've opened, I have a couple of these boxes, actually pretty much a majority, if not like a strong majority of the boxes you will see in this video I have multiple copies of. That's perhaps the most amazing thing about this is that I'm going to show you some pretty high-end stuff, and I have multiples of pretty much everything, and a bunch of them I have like a case or so worth. So anyways, 2013-14 Prestige, 2 autographs, 2 memorabilias. This is Giannis Antetokounmpo's rookie year. I have opened one of these boxes, and I have gotten a really nice Giannis rookie that I think I graded that, and it graded a PSA 10. I sold that shortly after the Bucks won the championship last year, and I still have 1 or 2 more of his rookies and some other nice kind of graded cards of his. So this is a really cool box. I bought these probably for like $200 or so, back a couple, 2-3 years ago when basketball cards were kind of starting to blow up, but it hadn't quite reached every conceivable basketball card product, so you could get some of the 2012, 2013 products that weren't Prestige or Select, or I'm sorry, that weren't Prizm or Select, which are the 2 kind of higher end products from this era. If you bought Prestige, or you bought Panini, or you bought I don't know, a bunch of other weird sets that Panini used to do in basketball, you could get them for pretty small money. So I started buying up all that stuff, and I was like, there's no way this stuff isn't going to go up, and sure enough, it did go up. So this box is probably a $500 box or so, something like that. The prices I used to determine where they rank in this list, and again, we haven't gotten the list yet, these are all honorable mentions, was generally like the Blowout price or the Dave and Adams price on their site, which is generally higher than what you'd pay like on eBay, but I just kind of wanted to have a baseline sort of price to use for as many as I could. Several of these boxes, Dave and Adams and Blowout, do not stock. Like, this is a good example. So I had to go and do eBay pricing for those. Alright, so this is a 1990 Impel Marvel Universe box. This is kind of the sort of first modern Marvel trading card box. There were some other earlier Marvel kind of licensed products, like there was a set of stickers that came in wax packs and complete sets that had first appearance covers of like big name Marvel stars, and there were some other, I think, sticker products, but this is really kind of the first modern Marvel trading card, 3x4 card product, and it's recently, in the past year and a half, gotten a ton of renewed attention after being sort of ignored for a couple of decades. I remember this stuff when it came out. I was, in 1990, I was a huge card collector, and so I saw this at the sports card store, and I actually bought maybe 4 or 5 packs of this because I know I had the individual cards like floating around in my card collection for many years. And I remember at the time it was seen as a pretty cool product, you know, amongst like non-sports collectors and comic book collectors. But, you know, like everything else from the junk era, it sort of fizzled out in popularity, and people just sort of forgot about this for a long time. I picked these boxes up in I have like 5 of these that are all factory wrapped. I picked them up in a lot that I bought of mostly mostly sports cards, mostly like baseball and like older football from the junk wax era. I got a ton of like 1990 Fleer basketball, a bunch of 89 Fleer baseball, and just a ton of stuff from that era, like all in one big collection that came in like 3 or 4 large FedEx ground boxes from somebody online on a discussion forum that I found. Is actually the Collector's Universe discussion forum, which is a good one for buying and selling unopened stuff, because you're allowed to do that, whereas on the Blowout discussion forum, which is the most populated sports card discussion forum, you can't buy and sell or even really talk about buying and selling unopened stuff, because, you know, it's hosted by a company whose main business is to do that, so they don't let you do that. So anyways, that's how I ended up with this. I probably paid something like, I don't know, $15 or $20 a box for this stuff. And about a year ago, when this really peaked, these things were like $1,500 bucks, if not like $1,800 on the very highest sale. So I really should have sold them then, but I didn't. And this box is currently going for about $700. So everything in the top 20 is worth more than that. And I'll start by saying, yeah, I don't have any, like, you know, 1953 Bowman wax box. I don't have anything that's worth like tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I have some pretty cool stuff. Regardless, so if you're looking for me to, you know, whip out a box of 1952 tops, it's not gonna happen. Not in this lifetime. But I've got a pretty good collection. I would say I've probably got one of the best unopened collections, or inventories, I guess, of like anybody who's not a professional sports card dealer, like a full-time sports card dealer. I'm a part-time sports card dealer, but you know, it's like a tiny little percentage of my livelihood. It's not even really part of my livelihood. It's just something I do because you know, it's fun to buy, sell, and trade stuff. All right, here we go. Let's see. First up, we have this guy. This is number 20. This is a 1997 Topps Finest Basketball hobby box. Key rookie cards in here are Tim Duncan, and it's not a rookie, but it's a very early card of Kobe Bryant. It's actually a subset card, and more importantly is these guys, bronze, silver, and gold parallels. Parallel refractors are what you want. Some of them are extremely valuable and rare. There's you know, some Michael Jordan cards in here, at least one. I'm not sure if there's others, but if you got like a refractor of that, or if you got a parallel refractor of that, you'd be sitting on some pretty nice money. So I picked this up, you know, ages ago in sports card timeline. Probably picked this up around 2019 or so. Maybe, actually, no, 2018 I would have probably bought this. From a guy at a card show where I am locally, who I've bought a ton of unopened stuff. He used to be kind of my go-to guy. He'd be like the only guy who had unopened stuff at a card show that I went to, where I knew most of the dealers, and he always had unopened stuff, and he somehow he had like a connection to a distributor, like a retailer who had a distributor connection and had like excess products that he could buy. So he would always have the latest stuff, and it would be pretty released, and I would buy a ton of it. A lot of this stuff, like if you are a fan of my channel from back in 2018-19, when I was opening like a lot of like basketball stuff that I had no idea what the hell what was going on and who was good. Almost all of those things I bought from, all those boxes I bought from the guy where I got this from. I remember, like, I bought 2017, so the value of this box is $750. But anyways, that guy, you know, he would have like boxes of 2017 Optic Fast Break for like $40, and you know, like nobody would buy them. So I bought 3-4 of them, you know, open them up slowly over time. Many on this channel. Number 19 on the list. This thing is coming in at $830. 2019 Topps Chrome Hobby. I bought a case of this stuff, and I have, I don't know, 9 boxes left of it out of a 12-box case. This product, when it came out, was not anything special, and you know, nobody really knew that Guerrero was going to have a comeback year, and that you know, Tatis would blow up. But both of those things happened, and suddenly this thing is worth, you know, $800+ It certainly has been higher than that in value. It's been as high as like close to $1,000, like $999 in the past year. So you know, like everything sports car related, this is down in the last, you know, 4, 5, 6 months. But it has been a $1,000 box at some point in the recent history. So pretty cool stuff. Again, I do have a few of those, so that's nice. Okay. Up next is an oldie but a goodie. This is one of my favorite boxes of the junk era. It's 1989 Fleer basketball. Honestly, there's not really much you can get that's valuable out of here unless it's a PSA 10, and I will tell you, I've opened a lot of these boxes in my life, and god darn, it's hard to get you know, well-centered cards out of this stuff. They are so bad with centering that, you know, opening one of these is just crazy. This is a FASC, or from a sealed case box, so it means it was opened by the good folks at Baseball Card Exchange from a sealed case, and would not have been tampered with or touched by anybody before them. So you know, it's kind of in original factory form, which is important because a lot of people like to look through older boxes like this for cards that are showing on the front or the back of the pack, and then, you know, collect those as their own sort of unique collectibles, like Michael Jordan showing. So there's, you know, incentive for people to do that, and if you don't have an FASC box, then you may have all those packs where Michael Jordan is showing removed, and that would be no fun. So this FASC box is from a case that I submitted to BBCE. So I still have the entire case. It's 12 boxes. They're all FASC wrapped right now. And yeah, I have them all in the original case, just kind of sitting idly. This is another one that, you know, at its height, gosh, these things were going for $1,500, you know, a couple years ago, year and a half ago. Not so much today. Value of this, as we sit here, is $850. But, you know, I'm very happy to sit on it. I think something like this, or really any kind of, you know, decent quality 80s BBCE wrapped product is a really kind of a safe way to lock up, you know, some money in your collection for the next 5-10 years. I mean, I think more and more of this stuff is going to get opened from, you know, by people looking for those gem mints that are not going to be easy to find. And it's just, I don't know. This box has always, this particular set has always had a real sentimental place in my heart, because I was really into basketball cards when this came out. I bought a bunch of these when they came out, and they were pretty valuable. The individual cards in here were pretty valuable. I mean, the rookies that were in this at the time, Danny Manning and so forth, you know, were valuable, and I remember that time very well. And I love these cards. When I first started buying up kind of some of the cards from my past, back in that was probably like when I graduated from school and got my first kind of real job. It was, God, when was that? 2001, 2002, around that time frame. I started buying stuff to decorate my office, quote unquote. And I bought a couple of those boxes, and I ended up opening them, which was really dumb, but that's okay. Now I have a case of them. Okay, so that was number 18 on the list. Now we have number 17. And it's funny, this had a little sticker on it that I thought I would keep on it because it's kind of funny. $155. I think that's the price I paid for these boxes. I can't imagine ever selling this for $155. But sometimes I put like little sticker post-it notes on boxes like this. But I think I paid $150. Yeah, I think that's right. I paid $1,300 for 3 cases, or $1,300 per case for 3 cases of this stuff. When it came out, one of the cases I opened up, and I've sold individual boxes and opened some of those boxes. I think I have a couple of those boxes left, and then 2 of the cases I have sealed. Those are really nice cases to have right now, for obvious reasons, but the big cards in here are, there's actually, you know, a number of really nice cards in here. Wander Franco, first Bowman, is the one that gets all of the attention. But there are some other really big ones in here. Rodriguez, what's his name? Francisco. Oh man, I forget his it starts with an F. And he's a Mariners prospect. He's one of the best prospects in the game right now. Is in here as a first Bowman and a first Bowman auto. There's also Marco Luciano, who's probably a top 10 prospect for the Giants. So those 3 cards right there are just, you know, really huge prospects that, you know, they all could have really big names in the next 2-3 years, or you know, even one of them could be as big as like a Soto or an Acuna. So I mean, they could all fizzle too, and frankly, statistically, that's the most likely scenario. But to have 3 prospects of that caliber in a single product, you know, as first Bowmans and first Bowman autos is very unusual. So this product is a huge one to have, you know, sitting on your shelves in the next 5 years. Could be really big. Could be really, really big. So this is valued currently at right at $1,000. So that's what you'd pay for one of these if you went to Blowout Sports Cards. So coming in at the same price, and we're calling this number 16 in the list, but same value as that Bowman box in terms of current resale or retail price at Blowout is this guy. This is 2019 Prizm basketball fast break box. I love these little fast break boxes. I've got some of these from each of the last several years, and I will continue to buy them for my hoard of sports cards. And the reason I like these is because they're nice and small, but don't let that fool you. There's a big punch in here. Basically, there's a set of Prizm cards that are called fast break Prizms. They're also called disco Prizms if they're in other products, but they have like little kind of little circles, little bubbles, you know, all over, like thousands of them on the card design. And they come in all sorts of colors. There's you know, red, blue, gold, bronze, one's neon green. Okay, so there's not a black fast break. I thought there was, but looks like neon green is the one to get, numbered to 5. But in any event, the fact that it has numbered colored prisms is a big deal. Like, the only other product that really has, more than one of such a thing is the full-size, hobby jumbo box, they call it, of Panini Prizm basketball. So these guys are small, but they pack a punch. You can get some really valuable cards if you get those low numbered or even any numbered prisms of, like, the big guys. In this case, it would be Ja Morant, but a number of other guys, Darius Garland, and let's see who else is big from this right now. Oh man, I'm blanking, but there are a number of pretty good, players in this product who could, kind of blow up in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Zion Williamson, unfortunately, is going to be a bust, it seems. Nobody's heard from or seen that guy in like a year, and that's not a good sign. Well, it even says look for Zion Williamson rookie prisms. That sort of shows you how big of a hype machine there was around Zion back when this stuff came out, or even before it. His selection in the draft was like the beginning of a hype train that just completely went bonkers. Anyways, love these fast break boxes, and we will see some hobby boxes of Prizm from different years in this video, and you can see how much bigger they are. Alright, next up, actually, you know what, we have 4 boxes that are valued right at $1,000. This is the third one of those. This is one of my favorite products is Bowman Best. I haven't bought any in 2020 and 2021 just because, the pricing of this stuff has gone completely off the rails. The out-of-the-gate pricing. So I haven't bought any a couple years, and I probably should just suck it up and buy some. Sit on it for a few years, but I think this is such a fun product, and it was incredibly fun when it was like $90 a box, as this probably was when I bought it. It was probably less than that. It was probably like 80 something. I bought 2 cases of this stuff, opened one entirely like in a day. Another one I kind of kept in boxes, sold off some boxes. I have 3 boxes left from that case, and that's it for my Bowman's Best. But I'm happy to have those 3 because this stuff is just fantastic. It's got 2 mini boxes in it, and just a mountain of stuff you can get. I pulled 2 colored autographed cards of Fernando Tatis Jr. out of this. I've pulled the gold and the green. Both of them graded gem in 10. There's rookie card logo cards of Acuna, of Soto, of Ohtani, and there's parallels of all those. There's regular refractors. First of all, there's base, then there's regular refractors, atomic refractors, and then colored refractors. There's blue, green, gold, and I don't know if there's red in here. Let's see if we can find that. No, it's not going to tell us on the mini file there. Yeah, so there is red and superfractors. So like, this product is such a fun thing because there's so many parallels you can get, and in 2018 there's so many players that are valuable to get. So it's just a fun product to open, and you get you get 4 autos in the whole thing, right? There's 2 in each mini box, so you get a ton of autos. So you could get autos of all these guys. There's just so much awesome stuff you can pull out of one of these boxes. Kind of makes me think $1,000 is a bargain, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't buy any box for $1,000 these days. I like to buy them at like $300 and wait for them to go up, or preferably like $100. But that's harder and harder to do these days. But it's getting a little better because prices are coming down on products. Anyway, this stuff is awesome. If anybody out there has a $1,000, they want to buy one of these and have me break it on a video, I'd love to do that. So Let me know, guys. All right, so that's the third one that's worth $1,000, and then the last $1,000 box I have is another sort of small box. This is 2019 Topps Chrome Sapphire edition. This is the second. Well, actually, it's the first year that. Well, okay, how do I want to say this? It's the first year that they put Topps Chrome Sapphire in this format, which is a mega box format with, several packs in it. Let's see, we've got 32 cards. It doesn't say. It doesn't say how many packs, but I think there's like 8 or 9 packs in here. I think there's 8 packs and 4 cards in a pack. So it's the first time they used the this format for Topps Chrome Sapphire. In 2018, they did like these kind of like vending box style things where you get like a few hundred cards, in a single box, no packages or wrappers or anything like that. And I think that's what they did in 2017, and I think that might have been the first year they did Topps Chrome Sapphire, but I might be wrong. Anyways, so yeah, when this stuff came out, I was like, 2018 Topps Chrome Sapphire is so valuable. This has got to be worth something someday. And sure enough, I bought these boxes. I didn't buy these for like super cheap. I probably got them for $200, $300 a piece. I think I bought maybe like 8 or 9 boxes, and I still have 4 or 5 of them. And they're worth $1,000 a pop right now, or that's what you'd pay to buy them from Blowout. And of course, you got Tatis, you got Guerrero, and then there are sort of smaller rookies like Alonso and Acuna, and Eloy Jimenez in here too. I'm sorry, did I just call Acuna rookie? I did. That's insane. Alonso and Eloy are the other rookies. There's some other minor rookies too, but if you got like, this is a red refractor on the back here of Acuna, like that would be worth a ton of money because those are very low numbered. I think they're numbered to 5. It says your odds are 1 in 55 packs. I feel like maybe they're, I don't know, that's like kind of amazing if they're numbered to 5 and your odds are 1 in 55. In any event, this is a really cool product. It's only going to get cooler if Guerrero and, Tatis continue to tear things up, as I suspect they will. 1 rookie autograph per box as well, which is pretty sweet. So there you go. There's the last $1,000 box. Now we're going over the. Whoa, that was number 14. Actually, I take it back. I have one more. The $1,000 box. This is 2008 Topps Updates and Highlights. Home of Clayton Kershaw rookies. There's one other rookie in here, I believe, that I can't remember offhand, but Kershaw is by far the standout. The base rookies of his in this go for pretty big money if they're graded well, and generally cards come out of these packs, in pretty nice condition, pretty well centered. So, yeah, I don't know, I picked this up on a whim at a local card shop. Somebody was selling this on consignment. I think I probably paid like $400 for it. That was a pretty wise investment. Didn't really know it at the time that it was gonna go up, but I figured anything with, somebody decent in it is gonna go up. These are not easy to find. They're pretty tough. And what can you say? Jabba Chamberlain rookies. How are you gonna go wrong with that, you guys? Josh Allen. It's kind of funny to think about these guys. And, Clayton Kershaw is still going strong, right? All these other guys have sort of fizzled out. Is Jabba, he must have retired. I don't think he's pitching anymore. Last I heard, he was on the Tigers, I think. He would be a fun one to get back on the Yankees for like a filler mop-up role or something. Alright, there you go. Okay, now we're finally going to break this. That was number 13. We're going to break the $1,000 barrier with an $1,100 box. Coming in at number 12. It's a basket this was actually the first quote-unquote hybrid format product that Select put out. Now they have hybrid, versions of pretty much everything they put out. But I feel like this kind of kicked it all off. When this stuff came out, it was pretty cheap. Certainly compared to, the hobby boxes of Select, and that's kind of why I decided to buy. I think I paid maybe $250, $300 for this guy. I bought a couple of these. Actually, I bought like 3 of them. I opened one. I pulled a red disco Prizm of Mr. Ja Morant right there, which graded a BGS 9. FU, BGS, I hate you. Anyways, opened one box, sold another box, and had one box remaining. Unfortunately, this one has a little bit of a kind of corner issue. It doesn't really matter because the packs are in the center here, but some people might care about that. One of these days, I'm gonna have a scratch and dent sale where I sell some stuff that's got like little things like this for better than what you could get it elsewhere. Anyways, yeah. So that's Select 6 Prizms, rookie jersey auto disco Prizms. So this has a bunch of disco Prizms. Kind of feels like this is the sort of fast break version of Select. There is no fast break version of Select, but if there was, it would be this. Because they have red disco, blue disco, gold disco, green disco, and black disco. Those are the ones numbered to 1. So, yeah, some pretty cool stuff you can get out of there, I have to say. I can see why those are kind of valuable. So $1,100 is what those go for. That was number 12. All right, now we're kind of getting out of the hovering around right around $1,000 range. Next box is a soccer box, believe it or not. Now this is one of the very few boxes that I have lost money on since buying, so it's a bit of a regret story. I'm kind of shocked that I have, actually, but I really bought these at the absolute height of the soccer market, thinking, like everybody else, that it had some room to grow yet, and it has grown in some regards, but this particular product was just, bonkers, hyped and expensive at the time I bought it. So this is a 2018 Prizm Fat Pack box, and you could not find, maybe you could find one box of like a hobby 2018 Prizm Soccer, but boy, it was tough, and dang, were they expensive. Those were like $5-6 grand, I think, when I bought this one. So this was kind of like the cheaper version, the cheapest version of this stuff that you could find. Sorry, my stomach is saying hello to everybody, but this stuff was kind of the cheapest format of this product that you could get, and I was like, man, I gotta get some of that before that blows up anymore. So I bought like 3 of these at like $2,000 a piece, and right now these go for about $1,600. So I got kind of a bum deal, but you know what? That's perfectly fine. I won on every single other product you see in here, and I won quite handsomely in many cases. So I've got no complaints about my unopened buying, performance, if you will. All right, so we're at the halfway point with this next box. It's number 10. It's another baseball box. This beauty. '18 Topps update. This is kind of like one of the, milestone boxes of the baseball card hobby in the last decade. It's got what was that noise? I hear noises like really well when I'm recording because I have, my microphone which picks up tons of noise, and then I have my headphones headphones on, so I can hear like way better than I could if I was not recording and didn't have the mic and headphones on. So every little kind of noise in the house comes through very loudly. But in any event, 2018 update series here has flagship rookie cards and all the parallels that go along with it of Ohtani, of Juan Soto, of Acuna, of other guys that are, having a rough break of life right now, like Gleyber Torres, and quite a few other kind of smaller stars in here too. But those big three, Ohtani, and by the way, Ohtani, like before last year, his MVP year, nobody gave a crap about him, but now suddenly he's maybe one of the best names in here. Maybe better than Acuna and Soto if they're sort of having off times, or Ohtani's just hit like 4 home runs in a row. So in any event, three really huge names all have flagship rookies in one product, and that's this stuff. And the funny thing about this product is that for years, this stuff you couldn't give it away. There's all these stories on Blowout how people were complaining because Blowout was selling this stuff for like $300 a case, and people were complaining because it didn't come with the little silver packs that you are supposed to get when you buy these from like a dealer. Can you imagine? Cases of this stuff are, I don't know, $8,000-9,000 for 6 boxes of it. So the value of this is $1,600. And I've got, I don't know what I've got. I've got like 3 of these left out of a single case that I bought. But I also have, and I forgot to mention, till just now, there are quite a number of boxes that I only have in sealed cases. So they would not appear in this list. Like I have a lot of older basketball, 2012, 2013 basketball that's in sealed cases, and they have boxes that might have shown up on this, but I'm not gonna, show the whole case. One day if I can figure out how to film it, I could do my top 10 best cases. But they're not much to look at. They're just cardboard boxes. Anyways, what I was gonna say is I have a full case of the hobby boxes of this stuff, which is 12 hobby boxes in a case, as well as the kind of loose jumbo boxes of this stuff. So that's a pretty nice case to have. Suffice to say, all right, we are up to number 9, and this one is kind of interesting. I got this from my distributor, last year, and I don't know, I didn't really know what to do with it, because when I get one box of something, which is what I got of this, should I open it and just be done with it? Should I try to sell it, put it on my website and sell it, or should I just keep it and just hope it goes up in value? Well, I did the last one with this, and that definitely proved to be the smart move. This box 2020 Optic football is going these days for $1,700 on Blowout. And I since I got this from my distributor, I probably paid like $130 for it or something. So that's a over 10x return on this product. And if I had opened it, I'm sure I would have gotten whatever, $100 in cards, and been pretty pissed off about it. But I didn't know what to do with it, so I just held on to it. Back when I got this, these were going for like $800. So I was thinking oh man, what are the odds that thing goes up in value? But pretty good apparently. So Joe Burrow, who's going to be playing in the Super Bowl later today. I'm recording this on Super Bowl Sunday. You will probably not see it for like several days after. At which time this could be worth even more, because if Joe Burrow wins the Super Bowl, every 2020 football product is going to be like bonkers, at least for a little while. It'll come back down, I think, eventually, but people are going to want Joe Burrow rookies going into next year, and that's going to be the hottest stuff on earth. So this is going to be a nice one to have if he wins, and I really hope he wins for so many reasons, because because like Matthew Stafford, I'm sure is a nice guy, but honestly, nobody gives a crap about Matthew Stafford except, fans of that team. So I feel like, and he's a guy who's like, he's been around several teams, and like he's kind of sucked for some of those years. So I mean, he's an interesting story at one level, but for the hobby, he's terrible because like, he could freaking retire like soon after winning the Super Bowl. I don't know. If you're a football fan and I'm talking blasphemy, I apologize, but like Joe Burrow is such a huge win for the hobby because he's in his sophomore year. He's got a great story, and the hobby loves rookie success or young player success. So, that's why Patrick Mahomes was, such a big boost to the hobby because, he was winning Super Bowls in his first, 3-4 years of play, and he's got plenty of years left, as does Joe Burrow. Hopefully, either of them could get injured at any time. But anyways, so Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert rookies, and Tua Tagovailoa is in here as well. So some really good rookies in 2020 football products, and this is one of the best. Other than Prizm and Select, this is the best. So I'm really glad I have that. All right, so that was number 9 in the list. Now we're on to number 8, which is this guy. Okay, I have a little note on here with the price that I paid for this. This is a 2019 Prizm Hobby, and again, I was saying, look how big it is compared to the Fast Break box. It's dwarfed, but the Fast Break kind of gives you almost as many chances to get like cool numbered parallels. Now the parallels in the Fast Break are not worth the parallels in here, given the same numbering. But still, I don't know. I really like this Fast Break. But this is a hobby box, so this is the first Prizm hobby box we've seen on this video, and this is 2019 basketball. Of course, it's got John Morant rookies in it, and 22 Prizms. Most of those will be silver Prizms, but 2 autographs. I bought this for $600, kind of shortly before it sort of really spiked in value. At one point, these things were like close to $3,000 a pop. Current price on this box right now is $2,300. I'm sure on eBay it's way less, but that's what Blowout's got them for. So that's, again, the sort of metric I'm using to make the list. So yeah, there you go. I've got I don't know, 2 or 3 of these that I just picked up because I thought, what, I should probably have some because 2018 Prizm is, so valuable. If somebody blows up from this, be it Zion or someone else, these are going to be worth a lot. And, they're definitely getting there. All right, that was number 8. Number 7 is also a Prizm hobby box, and I gotta tell you, I think this is a bit of a farce, but this box is being sold for $23.49 on Blowout right now, which is, it's way more than I think you should pay for one of these. I think if you went on eBay, you could probably get these for like $1,800 or $1,900. But nevertheless, the fact that this is selling for more on Blowout than the 2019 box is like crazy town to me. But if you're a fan of this channel, I have a history with this particular box, this 2020 Prizm hobby box, because I bought a case of these things when they just came out, and I'll tell you what happened. I'm not too high on myself to admit a total mental lapse. So what happened was I was comparing prices of different cases of this stuff various places where you could buy them, pre-order them. And some of the places I look are DealerNet, which is a subscription service that is used by a lot of dealers who want to buy and sell from other dealers. I was looking at Blowout, and I was looking at Dave & Adams, and I was looking at DealerNet, right? And they had cases of what I thought were Panini Prizm Hobby for like $2,500. Actually, it was like $2,600. And then I looked at Dave & Adams, and they had pre-orders for like did I say 2,500? I'm talking thousands. $26,000 is what I thought the price of a case was on DealerNet. So I go to Dave & Adams, they have them for $25,000. I'm like, oh, well, that's a no-brainer. I'm gonna, and I sort of wasn't sure I was gonna buy a case or not of this stuff because, god dang, it was expensive. And I knew the draft class was not very good, but I just got excited, and I was like, oh, well, if I can get a case for $25,000 at Dave & Adams, and they're selling for $26,000 on DealerNet, then it's a no lose, it's a can't lose proposition, because like if I just don't like it or I change my mind, I can go sell it for more on DealerNet. So I pre-ordered the case on Dave & Adams, and they had them basically the next day, and so they shipped out. And what I realized shortly thereafter is that what I was looking at on DealerNet, because they sort of do this in a slightly unclear way, but what I was looking at was not a Panini Prizm hobby case for $26,000. It was a Panini Prizm photo hobby case, first off the line, which is a special kind of version that you can only get from Panini directly, and those always carry a huge premium over the regular hobby boxes. So I was looking at the price of a case for that and comparing it with the price of a case for the non-photo version on Dave & Adams, and yeah, so I overpaid for that case by a good $5,000 because I could have bought the same thing for $20 on DealerNet. A few days later, when those cases became available, what I didn't realize is that like you couldn't even buy the hobby cases, the regular hobby, not the photo, on DealerNet at the time I was looking, because they had not been released yet, and you can't pre-sell stuff on DealerNet. You can only sell stuff that you have in hand. So when I was looking at the Prizm cases there, those were photo, because those did come out earlier. That's why they call them first off the line, right? But they didn't label it photo. When I was looking at it, they just said, Panini Prizm Hobby, and so I was thinking that's what it was. So I basically overpaid for my hobby case of this by like $5,000 out of the gate. And then, yeah, the market kind of died. And, cases of that stuff went down to like $16,000, and I paid $25,000. So, so basically I paid about, I guess about $2,100 a box for this stuff. And, for a while you could get this stuff for like $1,000 a box. And I'd paid $2,100 for a full case of it, so I was feeling pretty down the dumps. But I said to myself, you know what, this stuff is going to go up in value. Like somebody from the draft class is going to do well, and it will go up over time. And sure enough, that has happened. So the cases, at least by Blowout standards, are actually worth more than what I paid for it. But Blowout's price is quite inflated, so they're not really worth it. I couldn't sell the case that I got, and I opened one of the boxes. I don't have a full case, but if I sold all the cases for what I get on eBay, I still would be underwater. But anyways, that's my story of redemption in the purchase of 2020 Prizm basketball. Next up is kind of a fun one that, really I wouldn't have guessed was going to be in the top, let's see, where is it? It's the top 6 of this list. And it is a sport, but not a very commonly seen sport. Topps Chrome F1. Boy, my stomach is just gurgling and growling. I don't often do videos early in the morning, like before I've eaten breakfast, but whenever I do, this happens, so apologies. yeah, what can I say? I got 2 of these boxes from my distributor, and I probably paid like $90 for them. And these are extremely valuable boxes right now. It looks like they go for 20. I'm looking at my list here. Well, yeah, $2,800 for a box of these. Crazy stuff. So F1 racing is big in Europe and I think other parts of the world besides the United States. And you know, this is the first Formula One product like ever, other than like some kind of weird stuff, probably from like a decade ago or so. But you know, and it's top chrome, which is a big, you know, a good thing because it's got refractors and parallels and autographs and stuff like that. So the cards that are coming out of here and being sold as singles are going for, you know, crazy wild prices right now, and that has driven the price of these boxes like straight on up. So there's 2 guys that are kind of at the, you know, top of the, I think this is one of them, I don't know his name, and I'm not sure if the other one is this guy or one of these other guys, but there's 2 guys I know that are like sort of like kind of Acuna and Soto of F1 racing, and they're sort of always, you know, neck and neck for the top spot. And there was like a big race not too long ago that, you know, sort of decided who was going to be on top for the moment. So, anyways, cool stuff. I don't know if there's any Formula One fans in my. I'm sure there are because I have a lot of overseas subscribers. So, yeah, let us know what you think about Formula One cards. And actually, so this is 2020, and I just saw that 2021 Topps Chrome Formula One came out. So, question is, do I buy that? And so basically, this is one of those products where it's like the first, you know, mainstream Formula One product. So almost like, so in a sense, you could consider every card in here a rookie, kind of like when 86 Flair basketball came out, and there hadn't been basketball cards for like 5 years. Well, like half the cards in there are rookies or considered rookies, even though those players like Jordan, you know, started in 84, right? But his rookie card is in 86, and same for a bunch of other players in that set. So I think that's another thing kind of driving the value of this Topps Chrome product, or this Formula One Topps Chrome product, is that there's, you know, it's the first card of a lot of guys in a sport that it really has not had much attention from sports card manufacturers, despite the fact that there are lots of fans. So that is, so that again, that was $2,800. Next up, I was kind of surprised at how expensive these were, but Blowout has these guys for $3,000 or $29.95. This is 2018 Spectra, which is, you know, a product that I think has gotten more popular in the past couple of years, or maybe past year. When I got this box, I have like 3 of these. I think I had gotten 4 of them and opened 1 and gotten absolute trash in the one that I opened. But when I bought these boxes, it was at a time when, you know, Luka was doing really well, and like Prizm and Optic 2018 basketball cards were like just off the rails expensive. But these guys, this box was like $350, and I was like, well, I can get a box of Prizm for like $2,000 at that time, you know, or I can get this, and this has 4 autographs, not 4 autographs or memorabilia, 4 autographs and 1 memorabilia. So it's like, you know, I can get Luka rookies in here. Why would I not buy these things? I should have bought like a freaking truckload of these things. But, you know, what can you say? Hindsight, always 20/20, they say. So anyways, I bought a few of these boxes, and boy, they have turned out to be one of the best investments I've made, because the prices on this stuff have just gone nuts. So anyways, that's kind of a cool one. Another cool story, when I kind of just started getting my website, hotcardboard.com, my e-commerce site going, some guy ordered like 3 of these like to be shipped to New York, and it was like the first time that I got a flag on the order for being possibly fraudulent. And like the shipping address and the billing address were like both in New York, but like one was kind of like in upstate, one was in like Brooklyn or something like that. So I'll tell you what, and it was, 3 of these boxes was like $4,000 or $5,000 at that time. And, I would have loved to have sold them then, although I'm glad I didn't, even if there wasn't a fraudulent order now, because there were so much more. But I was like, really, I didn't know what to do. I was like, well, what are the facts of that order seem to make sense. Like, I'm sure someone could live in upstate New York and work, in Brooklyn or Manhattan or wherever, and, want stuff shipped to where they work or where they're going to be during the day. So, like, I was like, it kind of makes sense to me. So I called up the site that runs my e-commerce site, which is called Shopify. And I was like, what can you tell me about this? Like, how should I decide this? Because, this is a big order. I'd certainly like to sell these cards. Anyways, they were like, well, they can't really tell me much. It's, I have to decide for myself, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, geez, that's not helpful. Okay, so anyways, I was like, you know what? It makes sense to me. I'm gonna ship this order. So I got these guys boxed up. I made a shipping label. They were ready to go. And you know what happened? I got another order that was like kind of medium sized. And it was flagged as fraudulent. It was kind of the same thing. Like basically the shipping address was different than the billing address, but they were like, in the same state. And anyways, I figured out like that one was probably fraudulent because I looked up like the addresses and stuff, and they just didn't make sense. When I got that second one, I was like, you know what, this is too fishy. I'm not gonna do either of these. Oh, and by the way, I had correspondence with the guy in New York. Like, he had an email address on file, and I was like, hey, could you kind of explain what's going on here? And, he had gotten back to me, but, yeah, I decided in the end it was not worth it. So I canceled both the orders, and, I think they were definitely both fraudulent, so. Luckily, I still have those Spectras. Alright, long story, sorry about that. Here we go. That was number 5. Number 4 is another $3,000 box, and this is one that has been, significantly higher, but has come back down. So another 2018 basketball product. And this is the last modern, I'll say this is the last modern product that's going to be in the list. There's 3 more boxes, and they're all older boxes. So this is 2018 Prizm Fast Break. As I've said, I love Fast Break. This is the first kind of like major investment in Fast Break I made. I bought a case of this stuff, and you get 20 of these boxes. That's another reason I love Fast Break, is you get 20 boxes in a case, whereas Prizm you get 12. And if you know anything about my collecting, I value quantity over quality. But in this case, I have quantity and quality, so that's the best. So, yeah, I bought a case of these on a whim for like, I don't know, $1,000 back, after they came out and the season had ended and Luka Doncic kind of craze was really died down. But I was like, you know what, I think that's worth buying, because I see other Prizm stuff going up in value, and it's $1,000. Why not just do it? So I bought that, and that turned out to be the best, I think, kind of investing decision I ever made in sports cards. Now I wish I could tell you I had that case sealed up, but if you're looking at this box, you know that I do not. I broke the case. I broke some of the boxes. I bet I did a video on one of these boxes. At some point I listed like 8 of them for sale on eBay when they were like $400 a piece, and I had paid like, whatever, $1,000, but so $60 or something a box I had paid for these, and they were up to $400 when Luka Mania was kind of getting ramped up again. And I was like, man, that's a huge profit. I got to sell some of these. So I did. One guy bought like 6 of them for like $2,400 or $2,500. And I thought that was a great deal for me. Turns out it was an awful deal for me. But I made the amount I paid for the case back on that one sale, and then some. So I made some sense, and I sold other boxes, just one box a piece for $400 or $450 or whatever it was at the time. And yeah, I should not have done that. These cards are, so this is $3,000 box right now. These have been as high as $400 or $4,500. So yeah, I wish I had many more of these. I wish I had bought like 10 cases of this stuff, but I was not as bold of a buyer back then as I am now. Now I'll buy, 3-4 cases of something if I think it's got some legs, but everything is more expensive now, so you gotta be. By the way, the last box that I'm gonna show you is kind of a letdown. I'm gonna say that right now, and I'll explain why. All right, number 3 on our list is, again, it's a vintage product here. So this is 1980 Topps baseball. True story. I acquired this. I acquired this at a card show. This is if you're out in the Boston area and you collect cards, you know this card show. Oh man, I'm trying to think. Where it's. I feel like it's in a town that starts with a W. Anyways, there's a big card show out there that I think is called like the Shriners Card Show, because it's at like a Shriners auditorium out there, and they do it like, I don't know, three or four times a year. And I feel like it's in Wilmington, which is the town in Delaware, but I feel like that's the name or something close to it in Massachusetts. So I used to go to those card shows when I lived out in Boston, and actually bought a number of nice kind of 80s stuff, 80s like wax stuff from those shows. Not as much as I should have, but you imagine you could go back in time and you whisper in your, everything you buy will like 10x in value. Imagine the fun you would have, buying, whereas you go to a card show often and you're like, oh man, I gotta keep under budget. I gotta be real careful. I'm scared stuff is gonna go down in value if I buy it, blah, blah, blah. But like, if you were into vintage stuff back then, wax like this, you really could have said, if you knew the future, like everything you buy will be a fantastic investment. You should buy as much as humanly possible. It's all gonna be a win. But nobody ever really operates in that level of foresight, I don't think. So at least not in the collecting world. Anyways, so the way I bought this box is they have a drawing. They have like a door prize drawing at these shows, and you fill out a ticket, or a little, one of those little tickets they rip apart and they put one in a jar and then they draw it. So they fill those out, and or you fill out your name on there, you put it in, and then at various points during the show they do a drawing. So they did a drawing, and I was just wandering around, and sure enough, my name gets called over the loudspeaker, and I was like, holy crap, what are the odds on that? So I go and collect the prize, and it's the prize was like $200 to be spent at any table at the show. So you had to spend it at the show. And they said, just go to the table you want, and then when you find something, come get us. We're at the front, and we'll give the money to the dealer. So there was a dealer there who had a lot of unopened stuff. I remember when I was actually looking at his table, figuring out what to get. Somebody was buying like packs of 1980 Topps basketball and like opening them up there, and they were like $25 a pack. Those packs are $1,000 now, I think. So actually they're more than that. I think they're more than that. They're like probably like $1,500, $2,000 ungraded, and if you get them slabbed, they're even more. Because boxes, that stuff are $100,000, and it's 36 packs. So there you go. Anyways, so I remember that very vividly, and I was like, oh man, I really want that 1980 Topps wax box. And I think it was like $250 at the time. So I was like, can I use my credit and give you $50? And they said, yeah, no problem. So I bought that box, and I've had it with me, ever since then. It's traveled with me from when I lived in Boston to when I moved year or so ago. I was not really sure if the packs in it were legit or not, like if it was truly unopened, but I sent it off to Baseball Card Exchange like maybe, I don't know, 7-8 months ago, and turns out totally legit. So now I got a nice wrapped box of 80 Topps Baseball. Now this one is one that has really come down from its highs. You know, like a year ago, this was a $10,000 box for maybe a stretch of about a month. And now these boxes go for $4,500 in, you know, wrapped form like this. So that is the third most valuable box that I own right now. Second most valuable box that I own is another 80s Topps box. This is a 1986 Topps Football, home of Jerry Rice rookie cards, Steve Young rookie cards, and a few others. I think Reggie White rookie cards are in here as well. Yeah, this stuff has always been, you know, kind of a really, I think, important, you know, piece of unopened football card history, because of that Jerry Rice rookie, and also because this stuff has always been pretty tough to find. When I bought this, I bought this from a dealer at a local card show where I live, and he had a ton of unopened stuff from the 80s, and it was all pretty well priced. I think I bought this for maybe like $500, $400, you know, and at the time it was probably a $700 or $800 box. So he had a few things that I bought, and you know, I was a little hesitant because I was like, yeah, man, what if this stuff is all bad? I'm never going to see this guy again. His story was that he was a dealer back in the 80s, like in somewhere in like Nowheresville, North Dakota, which is kind of everywhere, but he was like from the middle of North Dakota, not from the big cities, or the biggest cities in North Dakota. He was from a smaller town, had a little card shop in the 80s, and he had all this inventory left over, so he had some really nice stuff from the mid-80s. And I bought this, and God, what else did I buy from that guy? I can't remember. I really wanted to buy an 85 Topps box that he had, 85 Topps football box that he had, but I didn't have enough money. I think I bought an 82 Topps football box that I also have wrapped. Actually, I didn't even look that one up for this video, but it might have broken into the top 20, but it might have just been an honorable mention. Anyways, so I've had this box for, I don't know, 6-7 years, and I also, you know, didn't know if this one was going to be legit either, but I sent this in. At the same time, I sent that 80 Topps baseball box in, and it came back legit, so that's pretty cool. Pretty thick, heavy box. Alright, so again, number one box, it's kind of a letdown, and I'll tell you why. Here it is, 1988 Fleer basketball, home of John Stockton rookies, home of Dennis Rodman rookies, home of third year Jordan. But there's something about this box I have to confess, and that is, it is empty. But I still have all of the packs. They just happen to be, they happen to all now be PSA graded. They're all present and accounted for. I have 36 PSA graded packs that came from this box. I submitted every single pack back when grading packs was $20 a pop. Now, if you want to grade a pack, the cheapest price is $100. So I'm glad I got them in, but I don't have a complete, you know, unslabbed, unwrapped box. I just have an empty box and 36 PSA graded packs, which sort of makes me think another video I should do is like all of my graded packs. I don't really have a ton, but I've got enough to make a good video, and those would be fun to look at. I think I might have done a smaller video of graded packs back in the day, or maybe they were packs before I had them graded. I don't know, but I have a growing collection of graded PSA graded packs. So this box I bought, I think, for like $200 back in like 2008 or 9. And I box, it would probably be $8,000-9,000. But this is the most expensive box I quote unquote, have. Yeah, so I bought this off eBay, like a long time ago. Wasn't really sure if it would be legit, and rather than send the whole box in, I decided to do the packs. It actually ended up being not only a legit box, but a legit untouched box, because you can tell by the distribution of stickers that are viewable on the back of the packs. Whether you've got, an unaltered box, a box that has not had packs swapped in and out, because you'll get, you'll get 4 of each type of sticker, because there's 10 or 12 in the set. You'll get 4 of most of them, and then 3 of a few of them. So that's exactly what I had in there. And 3 of the packs were, 3 of the stickers showing on the back were Jordans, and those are noted on the packs when you grade them. So those are really valuable compared to the other packs. But anyways, yeah, if you guys want to see that video of a bunch of graded packs, I have those 88 Fleer basketball packs, and I also have some older football packs. I got 81 football, 86 football, maybe 82 football. Just a bunch of stuff I bought from a dealer one time at a card show that had a bunch of 80s packs. So, there you have it. Here's my cheat sheet. This is the list of things. You can see I had that 2018 Topps Hobby missing, so I had to sneak that in. But this is the list of the top 20 most valuable unopened sports card boxes in my collection. Took us an hour and 17 minutes to get through it. Well worth it, I think. Hope you guys liked this video. If you're still watching, please do like and subscribe if you are not already. Really appreciate it. It helps me grow the channel, which I think motivates me to do more kind of in-depth videos and fun content, and hopefully some content that will be opening some things soon. So appreciate the support. All right, thanks everybody. We'll catch y'all later. You have a great one.